morning. I'm meteorologist Paul Dutton. It is Friday, February 23rd, 2026. We got a major winter storm moving in the region. We've been talking about this all week. We've ramped up the language with time. We're now 100% confident that two systems will hit us, one on Saturday, a lull Saturday evening, and a second one Saturday night and Sunday. This is a two-part system. Don't be fooled when the snow stops and sleet stops. More will be on the way. We have a winter storm warning across the entire region for sleet and snow. Maybe a little freezing rain, Boot Hill, parts of West Kentucky and Tennessee, but a lot of sleet, and that's going to make travel nearly impossible at times because what falls will stick. It's going to be bitterly cold. Sleet covered roads, very difficult to drive on because it's ice. Tires aren't made for ice, tires are made for snow. Maybe a snow sleet combination, but a lot of sleet is basically just like an iceberg. So right now, there could still be adjustments. The heaviest snow expected from north of Poplar Bluff, extreme Illinois, Marion into Evansville, the Evansville area. South there will be a sharp cutoff between snow totals and sleet. You could have 5 to 10 inches of snow north of the sleet line, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 inches of sleet with some snow on top and at the end. So either way, doesn't matter. Don't focus on amounts. I tell you this all the time. Focus on impacts. Nearly impossible travel at times. Interstates may close. Significant road closures. We're going to have problems with this event. And the bitterly cold air will just make it worse. At times below zero. Actual air temperatures, wind chills well below zero. All the way into next week. Heavier snowpack, some of you may go quite a bit below zero, maybe some record lows, we'll see. Either way, it's going to be cold. Protect your pipes. If you've had frozen pipes in the past, this will be an event. You likely will have frozen pipes if you don't protect them. The snow might help insulate the ground a little bit and prevent a bigger problem, but with that said, there even could be some city mains bust. Okay, let's talk about the challenges with the storm, and the challenges have been where to draw the sleet versus snow line, as I mentioned, maybe a little freezing rain. So we'll just have to see today's data. But again, focus on impacts, icy roads, school closures all of next week, school closures possibly into the week 2. We could stay below freezing through next weekend, and that could take us to near record territory for the number of hours below freezing. We'll see. But this is a big deal. Monitor the forecast. Don't put too much stress on meteorologists for the exact amount in your backyard. Totals will vary greatly depending on snow banding, depending on the sleet, depending on a little freezing rain. 6 to 12 inches of snow can become 2 to 5 inches of snow with a lot of sleet. Focus on the impacts. Storm impacts, I don't really care for these graphics. We're going to have major impacts across the entire region. Red or not red, it's going to have a major impact on travel and infrastructure. Let's look at the snowfall probabilities. 8 inches or more snow. You can see high probabilities across southeast Missouri, Illinois, into northwest Kentucky. We'll just have to see where that sleet snow line is. Sharp gradient. What's the chance of 12 or more inches of snow? There is a chance of that across portions of mainly Missouri, Illinois, northwest Kentucky, and into Indiana. It's going to be a big winter storm. Snowfall totals, this will change. Confidence is medium. But you can see here, if you don't have sleet, 8 to 12 inches in Poplar Bluff. If you don't have sleet, 8 to 12 in both Paducah, Cape Girardeau, Marion, 12 to 18 band in the orange. If the sleet line pushes a little farther north, then you could cut these snow totals in half, maybe more. 6 to 8 in Murray, highly dependent on sleet. If we have a lot of sleet, then 2 to 4, 2 to 5 inches of snow with a lot of sleet, maybe a little freezing rain. Hopkinsville, the same. These totals will vary greatly. Even within one county, you can have a large rain. Will this be a wet or dry snow? It'll start out as dry, become wet. Of course, the sleet and freezing rain is going to, change this, but you get the general idea. Early start dry, ends as dry snow, and in the middle it will vary. quite a bit. Here's a timing graphic. You can pause the video. These are generally the cities. Find a city closest to you, and you can see here the timing. And then here's the winds. Where the winds gust into the 20s and it's dry snow, we could have blowing and drifting snow. The wet snow, not so much. But where it's a dry snow, you're going to have some blowing and drifting. It's not quite enough for a blizzard warning. Blizzard warnings, you have to have winds a certain speed for so many hours. It's a little complicated, but this is definitely a big winter storm. Perhaps record amounts of snow in some counties. We'll see. Another aspect of this storm, and I don't want us to lose focus of it, very cold temperatures. You see here the wind chill forecast. At times minus teens are possible even, but 0 to minus 12. Look at this. It goes all the way into next week. Just an awful cold weather event. Right now we have a cold weather advisory for portions of the region. Probably need to expand that into Arkansas and Tennessee. It's going to be harsh on animals, harsh on livestock, harsh on the elderly, harsh on everyone, first responders, working car accidents and fires. It's a big problem. Don't use extension cords with space heaters. They can and oftentimes do cause house fires. Every big cold weather event, we have house fires. And the firemen tell me most of the time it's because people did not use their space heaters properly. Today is the time to wrap up your plans, groceries, top off your tank, gas tank, whatever preparations need to be made on the farms. Make those today into early tonight. Once we get past midnight, snow will, I'll show you some graphics in a minute, but snow chances increase, especially on Saturday, then a lull, then more Saturday night and Sunday. It now looks like this winter storm will continue into a good chunk of Sunday. That is a change from previous updates. Here's a graphic on planning from the Weather Service. And again, preventing house fires is a big deal. This is a big deal. We need to make sure everybody's safe. Pause this, kind of read through that. But the main thing, keep space heaters about 3 feet away or more from anything flammable, and do not use extension cords. How to measure snow? Normally we take 3 measurements and then average them. You can pause the video and see these, how to measure snow properly. I get it. A lot of you aren't going to have a snowboard, but don't measure drifts and kind of find a flat area to measure. Weather Service can always use reports. And again, we're dressing for extreme cold. This is a long duration cold weather event. It's going to be a big problem. Ice damming from your gutters into your eaves is going to be a problem. That's from snow, sleet. Also, it's going to be hard on kids that want to get out and play in the snow. Keep that in mind. Don't let kids on ice-covered lakes, ponds. With time, the ice will become a little thicker, but a lot of kids haven't experienced this kind of cold, and we don't want them out on the ice, of course. We've had some children that drowned because they got out on thin ice, fell through, and died. So we don't want that to happen, of course. We're trying to keep everybody safe. Carry an emergency kit in your car if you have to travel. Nurses, doctors, others. Carry your emergency kit. Charge your phone. And just keep in mind, during the peak of the storm, first responders might not be able to get to you in some areas. If you don't have to travel Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, don't. Wrap up your travel plans. Plan ahead. This is a huge winter storm. Extends from northern Missouri all the way to Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. A good chunk of the country is under a winter storm warning. Let's go ahead and take a look at that NAM model. There are so many models that I look at, over 300 with the ensembles. But I got to pick one to show you. I'm going to show you the NAM. There are questions again about where to draw that sleet versus snow, and there'll be a very sharp gradient, as I said, a very sharp gradient between a lot of snow and a lot of sleet and maybe a little freezing rain. We'll just have to monitor the data. Like I said, plan on icy roadways for an extended period of time, bitterly cold, pipe busting cold. It's just going to be a mess. Let's move forward through today. No weather concerns today. As we move into tonight, that's when we start to see the snow developing over southern Missouri and Arkansas into the Boot Heel, West Tennessee. There's about a 4 to 6 hour difference in the models. Some of the models do not bring the snow in until nearly sunrise and after, especially our eastern counties where it may stay dry all night. We'll just have to watch the timing. Just be prepared for snow late Friday night, and then of course in the Saturday night, and Sunday. Try to wrap up your travel plans, get to where you need to be, and hunker down for a little bit. All right, we move through the day. We'll stop here at 6 a.m. You see snow expanding, sleet in purple, blue is snow, dark blue is heavier snow. Notice parts of the region are still dry at 6 a.m. We'll see. Sometimes these systems arrive a little faster than shown. Radar also may show precipitation, but it could be virga, precipitation falling but evaporating before reaching the ground. It takes a little while to saturate cold, dry air, so radar may show a donut hole. The smaller that donut hole gets, the closer to the ground the snow is at that location. Okay, so we move through time. We'll stop here at 12 p.m. You see snow has expanded across the entire region. Heavier snow, southern Missouri, southern Illinois, West Kentucky. Perhaps some heavy sleet into the Boot Heel along the Kentucky-Tennessee border southward. And remember, sleet will definitely cut into snow totals. A 7 to 14-inch snow could become a 2 to 6-inch snow, but with several inches of sleet, and that's the big concern. What about the sleet versus rain line? Or sorry, what about the sleet versus snow line? Where to draw that? That's a very sharp gradient will develop somewhere across our region. We'll move through Saturday afternoon. Now watch this lull. This is a two-part system. There's a lull on late Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening. Things calm down, radar may clear out, but the low is still well back here, the low pressure center. And once that moves east-northeast, watch how fast heavy precipitation expands back into our region. This is midnight Sunday. Uh, in other words, early Sunday morning. Heavy sleet, some freezing rain down here in the red in Tennessee. And as we move through time, don't get too caught up on where the line is drawn here. This is a model and it will be wrong. All models are wrong. Some are more wrong than others. But somewhere in here, there'll be a sleet versus very heavy snow line. Maybe some freezing rain creeping into the Murray area in south central Kentucky. We'll watch that. We do think most of this is sleet and snow, perhaps heavy sleet and snow. I'm not sure about thunder snow and thunder sleet. I can't rule that out. There's not a strong signal for it, but maybe. We'll stop here at 6 a.m. on Sunday. Now, this has changed over the last 24 to 48 hours. The precipitation lasts a little longer. Heavy snow, sleet, maybe freezing rain, Trigg County into eastern Kentucky, rain in green. We don't have to worry about rain. This is going to be an all frozen precip event. We'll move through the day on Sunday. We'll stop here at noon. You see snow still back here in Oklahoma and Arkansas, the wraparound. Here's the low. Now this is pretty far north. I think the low may be further south. We'll see. But snow, sleet, some freezing rain continuing across the region. Very treacherous road conditions. The Weather Service, and I agree with them, said near impossible or impossible travel, near record snow in some areas, and a lot of sleet. And that sleet will be very hard to remove from the roads with bitterly cold air. Remember, this is also an extreme cold event for the region, and it's just simply going to be cold. Tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, into much of next week, if not most of next week, will remain below freezing. That could bust some city mains. Absolutely, some of you are going to have problems with busted pipes. You could have problems where the sleet and snow accumulate in your gutters and then pushes into the roof. We had that happen a few years ago, and a lot of people had water damage. There's just no good news here in this winter storm. Just be prepared. Wrap your plans up today. Wrap your plans up this evening. Get home. Stay home tomorrow. Stay home to Saturday night, Sunday, Monday, maybe Tuesday. Kids will be out most of the week. It's just going to be a travel mess for a while, all the way down into Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, up the East Coast, the Middle Atlantic, into the Carolinas. This is a huge, huge storm system with watches and warnings covering much of the United States. It's a bit of a rare one, but we'll get through it. Okay, let's move on to that 7-day forecast. We look at today, some increase in clouds, highs cold in the 20s, some gusty winds over the next few days as well will make it feel even colder. Friday night, increasing thickening clouds with a chance of snow, mainly over southeast Missouri, southern Illinois, maybe in the far west Kentucky, northwest Tennessee. With time, it will expand eastward. We'll have to watch the exact arrival time for planning purposes, just plan on some at least light snow late at night into early Saturday morning. Then it picks up on Saturday morning. Check out that low on Friday night, 8 to 12. Cold on Saturday, mostly teens in the region. Snow, heavy snow, some sleet mixing in the Boot Heel into West Kentucky, Tennessee, maybe a little freezing rain. Um, you know, we'll have to see where that sleet and snow line is. As I said, roads will become hazardous, bitterly cold. There will be a lull. There will be a lull in this, and then more precipitation develops Saturday night. Freezing rain, sleet, and snow. Snow in northern counties. Pop up to Paducah, eastward. Some sleet mixing in and snow. And then southern counties, Boot Heel, northwest Tennessee, along the Kentucky Tennessee border. Sleet, snow, maybe some freezing rain. As I said, sleet will cut down on totals, but the impacts will be worse where there's ice or sleet because it's so cold. Look at the low temperature. Probably around 8 to 12, 8 to 13 degrees, somewhere in there. Maybe a little colder north. Sunday, mainly a chance of snow showers. Okay, let's go ahead and look at that 7-day forecast. Today, partly sunny, cold, highs in the 20s. Tonight, increasing chances of at least some light snow, mainly over southeast Missouri, perhaps spreading into southern West Kentucky, Tennessee, but it may be very late. Lows tonight, 8 to 12. Saturday, freezing rain, sleet, and snow, mostly snow northern counties, Poplar Bluff to Paducah eastward, wintry mix. High temperatures only in the teens. So what falls will stick. If it's freezing rain or sleet in some areas, it's just going to be a travel nightmare. As the Weather Service said, with time, travel may become impossible in some areas. Gusty winds Saturday and Sunday. Friday, today, Saturday and Sunday, some gusty winds. For Saturday night, a chance of freezing rain, sleet, and snow. Now there will be that lull I talked about, maybe several hours of nothing falling, and then more precip rapidly develops as the low moves towards south. Lows Saturday night 6 to 13. Ooh, cold, pipe busting cold. Sunday cloudy, a chance of snow showers, snow before 2 p.m., then tapering off to flurries. We'll have to watch that exact end time. Cold, highs mostly in the teens. Sunday night, very cold. Lows -5 to 5 above, some snow flurries. Monday, cold, highs only in the teens. Some areas with a deep snowpack may struggle to get above 12 degrees. Monday night, clearing, cold, lows -8 to 6, depending on your snowpack. Deeper snowpack and you're going below zero. Either way, we're splitting hairs. It's cold, pipe busting cold. Tuesday, mostly sunny, highs in the 20s. Tuesday night, partly cloudy, lows in the 8 to 14 degrees. Wednesday, partly cloudy, highs in the 20s. Wednesday night, cold, lows 8 to 14. Thursday, partly cloudy, highs only in the teens to around 20. Some of the data keeps us below freezing all next week. Some kids will be out of school all next week, possibly into the following week. Okay, let's all stay warm. As I said, protect the pipes. Don't forget our outdoor pets. Animals, of course, farmers are going to take care of livestock. Let's check on the elderly. Let's hunker down for this one. Try not to travel. Give first responders some respect. I know some of you have to go to work, doctors, nurses, others, but let's just try to stay home for a few days. Let the road crews do their job, and things will get better with time. It always does.